Stay minimal.
How do I look? How do I look?
Very good. Very good. I must say, I'm amazed.
I am a very stylish girl.
The new Volvo S80. My goodness.
A very stylish girl.
Protect the body, ignite the soul.
Volvo and your local Volvo dealers remind you to drive safely this holiday season.
No matter where you're going or what you're doing, the weather can affect you. This winter, rely on the experts. Nobody knows weather like we do. Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
It's half past the hour. Time for Weather Center, sponsored by Cadillac. I'm Rick Griffin here with Vivian Brown.
Good morning.
A lot to talk about today. We've got a major storm in the west, maybe some record warmth in the south. It remains very spring-like. And there's been a little snow around New York City, and we're going to talk more about that.
That's right. That's certainly our top story this morning as we wake up to the snow in New York City and across the Long Island Sound. It won't last too long, and Rick will have a detailed look at the forecast coming up in just a moment. But first, let's show you what's going on right now, because that system is still pretty much along the coast of New England, and it's pulling back some of the moisture from the Atlantic, and we have the cold air in place. So the snow, that's what we're waking up to this morning. New York City, even down to Philadelphia. No snow for you, Boston. You're a little too far north in latitude, but this system certainly bringing us the light dusting for the Big Apple this morning. We're watching another system lining up behind it across the northern plains in the upper Midwest. This system doesn't have a lot of moisture with it. We could find some light snow across the upper peninsula of Michigan, but that's about it. And then our next system in the Pacific Northwest. You can see it's spiraling here off the coast of Vancouver Island. We have wet weather this morning, and freezing levels will be dropping as we go through the next 24 hours. A lot of moisture, a lot of wind energy with this system, and this one will be the certainly strongest of the three systems as we go through the next 24 hours. And actually, this system starting off on the west coast today, but by the end of the week, it will have moved all the way to the east coast. So we'll be following this storm for quite a few days. Some higher clouds in the southwest here along the subtropical jet stream, and actually you can see some of those clouds wisping across Florida too. This is associated with the subtropical jet stream, so not a lot of moisture with these clouds, just some high-level cirrus clouds pushing over the central peninsula this morning. Let's zoom in on the northeast though, because you can see the widespread canopy of clouds here, but rightfully so. We're waking up to the snow and rain mixture here, but it is all snow from, say, just south of Poughkeepsie across the Long Island Sound, Suffolk County, Nassau County reporting some moderate snow this morning, even down toward the central parts of New Jersey here, Teterboro, Trenton, Newark reporting some snow, even Philadelphia, Atlantic City, rain for you, and we've had reports of some rain around Dover, Delaware. All of this will be pushing off into the Atlantic with our low pressure, so it's just a morning event. Actually will only last another 2 to 3 hours, and as you wake up, certainly you'll find the light dusting, but once the area of low pressure moves away and high pressure moves in, the skies will start to clear quite quickly as we go through the late morning and afternoon, and the sun will come out and warm things up. We're forecasting a high today of about 36 degrees in Boston, but New York City, you should get up to 38, and in the mid to low 40s around Philadelphia. So things will start to clear out as we go through the late morning and afternoon hours. 35 right now, New York. We wake up to 34 in Philadelphia, 40 D.C. Colder though, Boston 28. 13 in Bangor, Maine, 5 degrees right now in Caribou. We've had reports of winds out of the north and northwest of about 10 to 12 miles an hour, and that's bringing us a little extra chill in the air this morning with a wind chill Boston 11, wind chill New York 20, 17. That's what it feels like in Philadelphia this morning. So it still feels and even looks like winter across New York City and Philadelphia this morning, but that low pressure will be moving away and things will start to warm up later today. And speaking of warming up, look at all the records we had yesterday. Each of these dots represents a record high from the Piedmont areas of the Carolinas back into the coastal Bend region of Texas. San Antonio, 84 degrees yesterday. Corpus Christi, you tied your record at 83. Even the Crescent City, New Orleans, we got up to 80 degrees. And near the home front, Jackson, Mississippi, you had a record yesterday, 81, and the list continues. Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, 71. Birmingham, 76 to tie the record yesterday. Currently, it's 48 Birmingham, 51 Atlanta, so even your morning temperatures are not too bad as we wake up to 60s along the Gulf Coast. This is what it should be, on average anyway, for the afternoon high. Atlanta, your average afternoon high this time of year is about 51 degrees, and we're forecasting 70s again today. So even though this front is in the general vicinity, we don't have a lot of clouds with it, and certainly no precipitation expected with this system. So we'll be dealing with more above average afternoon highs again today as the sun will come out and it'll be quite bright today. So not bad at all. High pressure centered over Indiana. Weak system crossing over the northern plains now. This is the one I showed you earlier on the national satellite picture, and you can see some higher clouds pushing across Minnesota and Iowa, but these are not producing any precipitation. We're not expecting much from this system. 40 degrees right now, Des Moines, Lincoln, Nebraska, 40 degrees. 29 Chicago, Green Bay, you're checking in with 26. There is the big picture all put back together. The biggest storm will be out west, and with more details on the progress of this storm, let's turn back to Rick.
Vivian, thanks a lot. And that moisture surge continues off the Pacific with another couple of feet of snow today in the mountains of California through the Cascades. A lot of rain in San Francisco and Seattle, snow in the Rockies, more fair and mild weather in the southwest. Nation's midsection will have a quiet start to the week. And here in the east, we have the low pressure, but it's moving offshore quickly this morning, and it's almost entirely out to sea by lunchtime and well offshore by dinner time this evening, followed by high pressure and gradually clearing skies. So the situation for New York City, a little leftover light snow this morning with little, if any, additional significant accumulation. After the snow ends, the clouds begin to thin and brighten up, and by early to mid-afternoon, the sun may poke through at times, if not even a little bit before then. 38 at least, maybe low 40s in the Big Apple. Boston, you've missed the snow. Sunny to partly sunny today, 36, 26 in Burlington, 40 degrees the high in Pittsburgh, and closing in on 50 in Washington, D.C. Spring-like conditions persist in the south, no doubt about it, with Atlanta topping it out at 70, Orlando at 80, Houston at 81, look at that, and Dallas right around 80 degrees. Even Chicago will be 50 as you start what will be a very mild winter week in the Windy City.
Okay, thanks for joining us for this edition of Weather Center. It has been sponsored by Cadillac. Stay with us. Travel Wise is next.
This program was sponsored by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers.
Let's break away.
Those days here.